Hello, I'm Roy Hubler, and this is St. Luke United Methodist Church in Enterprise, Alabama, and I'm going to show you what I use to play organ with here at the church. This is an older organ that I purchased for $500 at the Episcopal Church here in town. My pedal light is off. Let me see if I can back it up a little bit. So here is the console. It's a Galanti organ. Yeah, there's a name back here. I think it's a Galanti organ. We're going to show you how it's booted up. It's running Grand Orgue. Let me get it so you can kind of see this. So it's running Grand Orgue, and it's a Raspberry Pi. Let me see if I can get a picture of that. Back there, behind the monitor, is a Raspberry Pi 5 with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it has an expansion sound card in it. So let's boot it up, and we'll show you how all of this is put together. One thing I didn't mention was this organ was MIDI capable before. So there's just one cable that's going from the MIDI out to a USB interface, which goes into, it's right on the top, but you're not going to be able to tell the wire, but it goes into the Raspberry Pi. And also there's a MIDI interface for two pedals. So I have see if I get it closer. The middle pedal is the swell, and the right pedal is the crescendo. So each of those has a MIDI interface. And I've had an organ. These you can hook up to the MIDI interface as well, and that would facilitate your combinations. They're just on and off switches for interfaces, and you can hook them up to analog keyboards or to switches, I suppose. And that's how I could get my combination setters to work if I ever. So can I zoom in a little bit? There it comes. That's the Raspberry Pi software, and then the Grand Orgue software will start right up. It should. There it goes. And that's the demo organ you get with Grand Orgue. Let me see if I can move it a little closer. Yeah, sorry, there's a light right in the middle of it. So here you have the grate. Let me make it louder. The sound quality has a lot of like little glitches in it. And you set it up, I guess when you set it up, you click on the bottom manual here, and you get a listen for an event, and that's how you hook it in to this manual. And you just do that for all of your manuals. Hit cancel. And the same thing, here's your feet, and I have the swell. I don't think I hooked up, yeah, on this one I haven't hooked up the expression. Well, I guess you could hook it up to be a swell box on the great organ. but you can hear what it sounds like. Let's get this. We have couplers. Up above, let me get the camera. Up above the monitor there, I'm running, I think it's a 200 watt amplifier that I got offline from somebody. So the Raspberry Pi is going into the amplifier. I don't have an audio interface that a lot of people use. And then these white boxes up here are covering up, there's one on the other side over there, some Allen organ speakers that I picked up from somewhere from another project. So here we go, and you can see the only thing on my key, one of the things I don't like is my pistons and my setters. None of this works. And then also I've thought about trying to MIDI in my tabs to work with the Grand Orgue software, but that's an awfully big project to do, and it hasn't happened. I had a real tiny Pi touchscreen, and so when I got this 17-inch touchscreen just maybe about a week and a half ago, that made a big difference, and it's just as good for me. All right, so let me zoom in a little bit more. And I'm going to close this out. File, exit. And then, I need my keyboard. Usually I don't have a keyboard connected to this, but I have this little keyboard. And I just want to open up a terminal here, and I've had this Raspberry Pi running for about a year, and I never have had to go in here except when I first set it up. Let me see what I got. Yeah, so from GitHub I got this Grand Orgue software for the Raspberry Pi. And you can find that link online. And then it had a script. Well, yes, it had a script to install it. And then here I installed the Debian package. It looks like I had to fix the broken install. But then I ran Grand Orgue, and that was the last thing I had to do. And here I used, I can't remember exactly, but how I got it to auto start, so when it boots up, it automatically starts. So that's all I had to do was download this package. The last thing, again, let's start back Grand Orgue again. See, that was pretty fast. Once it's in the cache, it loads up fast. I'm going to load up maybe 1 or 2 more organs. Oops, I shouldn't have done that. Open recent. Yeah, this Beret Church, it's easy to find online, and it works very well. Again, it takes a little bit to load up. This is why I have the organ software start up on boot. Usually I turn everything on, then I go get my organ shoes on and get ready. So here you have all your generals combinations, and you get 50, and you could also set it by user, so it's pretty much unlimited. Here's your manual, so you can set the manuals. If you think the swell division should be louder, you can crank it up or tone it down. And also very important, there's a metronome built in that's really loud, so I always have to make the metronome softer. Let's close these for now. And then here's the metronome, which I use a lot. It's very, and I usually don't like electronic metronomes, but I like this one. So here you go. We have a right and a left. There's a picture of the organ, but these buttons are a lot nicer. Also, it sounds a little bit better. It sounds a lot better, and it can get a lot louder. Let's go up to there. And you have to program it yourself, but I've programmed the crescendo pedal. So a lot of things, it's very functional. Probably two panels that I use the most too, and they're hard to do for me because I should do more. But here you have the coupler for the Hauptwerk for the great organ, and you can couple anything, even to itself. So there's an octave coupler. I can couple the pedals. Let's hear. Yeah, the pedal I could couple to the great, which usually you would never do, but it has all these coupler functions which are awesome, and it really gives you an idea. It has temperament, so you can change the temperament of the organ, and then organ settings. I use this quite a bit. Got all these noises. So there's like my 16 foot on the great, and you can turn it up or down. So you can kind of voice the organ, or if you want to pipe a little bit louder. Sometimes the trumpets aren't loud enough, and you can come in here and boost up the trumpet or tone it down. The reeds like that. And also something, especially because I'm running Raspberry Pi, if the organ takes up too much memory. See here, my sample bit size is 16-bit. The default these days is 24-bit, but because I'm running the Pi software, everything has to fit in 8 gigs of memory. But you can really tell the difference. Between this and the demo. And the last one, and again, you have to speed this up. I want to show you one more organ, and this is like a great organ. I hope I got the right one. Let's see. Both of these are great. The Castle Niedersweren organ. It takes quite a bit to load, and that's the only drawback. Well, there's two drawbacks. One is the quality is going to suffer with the Raspberry Pi, and the loading time it takes a long time. And there's some organs, like if they need 32 gigabytes of RAM, you're not going to get them. But for the price and the convenience of putting a system like this together is great. Yeah, this is not the one I wanted, but it sounds very nice. Trumpet. Let me get rid of it. And the swell works. Let's put some more swell on. I don't remember how all this works. That's why I went with strings. You don't want trouble. So there you go. And it's great. And that is my little intro to Grand Orgue.